Today was really fun, eye-opening, and quite interesting. There's a lot of thinking to do, a lot of food for thought to be digested. Started off warmed up fine, deadlifting, began to deadlift, then got slightly distracted, was watching a friend teach these kids how to deadlift again. And it was really interesting watching him teach them how to deadlift. He kept it nice and simple. And funnily enough, we had a immediate contrast to pit his teaching style against, which was one of the PTs at the gym. And to be quite frank, the PT was woeful at trying to teach them how to deadlift, and my boy was pretty amazing. So that was cool. And from there, I ended up getting very sidetracked. Worked up to, I think, about 140 on the deadlift for 5. And then we got chatting about these strongman movements and these strongman lifts. And we started fucking around with them, which was fun. Pissed around with them for a little bit. And then it went up to 160 for 5 on the deadlift. And then that was the end of my session. I wasn't planning on that being the end of my session, but that ended up being the end of my session. And whilst I'm not very happy with that, because I plan to do a fair bit of work today, I am happy that that was the end of my session, because we were discussing programming and he was teaching me about programming and about how simple programming can be and how important it is to really keep it simple, especially when you're starting off on your journey of learning how to program and whatnot. And it's left me in a very introspective headspace, I guess you could say. And I've just been balls deep in my own head, thinking, plotting what could be, might be, and it will probably end up being what I spend most of my evening now doing. So I'm very interested to see where it takes me. I'm going to stick to the approach being extremely simple. However, I am going to do a little bit of extra research on it. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to get overly influenced by everything, so I need to be very careful with that. And a big part of the reason, and it's a big part of the reason as to why I don't really have anything to say on it, because it's right now it's the foundation of the thought. This is me preparing to go and really attack these thoughts and really dive into them, put them on paper, put them on pad, whatever it might be, and create something, build something that I must stick to. And now the reason why I'm quite confident with this is because I'm not going to be building it in such a way where I take away from what is very important to me with this whole journey, and that's just having fun and there being a huge element of freedom to what I can go and do on any given day. Like yesterday, for example, it wasn't until I got to the gym I knew what I was going to do, and I ended up benching. Happened to learn that, okay, cool, well, I benched because I thought, okay, I got food in my belly, I don't want to squat or deadlift because bracing will be horrible. Bracing is just as important on the bench, and it was quite difficult and quite uncomfortable to bench with a full belly, so that's a lesson learned. But the point being that whilst I'm going to program, there's still going to be a huge element of freedom to my training. And the program itself is essentially just going to be goals, weekly goals that work towards a 6 to 8 week goal, and that is built on each week and improved on each week. So yeah, anyway, tomorrow it will probably be much clearer. I'll probably have a much clearer idea of what it's going to be. So my thoughts will be clearer, because right now they're not clear at all. They're not clear at all. Like I said, this is the draft. This is draft thinking, so to speak. This is a drafted thoughts, which is very important. Very, very important. But I look forward to seeing where this goes, where it takes me. It's nice to feel like you have a little bit more clarity, because I did feel like I was doing a whole lot of work for very little return. So we'll see if this changes that. Thank you for listening, and I shall see you tomorrow.